Welcome to beautiful Waikiki Beach. We're actually on the banks of the Columbia River, more or less the Columbia River, because we're actually at Cape Dissapointment, which is where the Columbia River goes into the Pacific Ocean. I drove down here yesterday, most of a day trip. I did stop in one of my favorite places, Cathlamet, and that's a very cute little city along the Columbia River in southwest Washington. And just adjacent to Cathlamet is the island of Puget Island, which is basically in the middle of the Columbia River. And they've built a lot of canals throughout the island, so there's a lot of really interesting waterfront properties down there, a lot of really cute farms, and people just seem to be doing interesting things. I have absolutely no idea what anyone does there for work, because aside from a small plant across the river in Oregon, there really doesn't seem to be much in the way of jobs there. But it's one of those places where if I could figure out how to make it a living, I'd be totally willing to live in that area. But anyways, while I'm hanging out here on Waikiki Beach, I actually have a video that's coming out today, and I haven't finished the description yet, so I need to do that. My campsite doesn't have any cell phone coverage at all, so I couldn't do it from there, but that's totally okay. I'm actually kind of enjoying these campsites that don't have cell phone coverage. They forced me to go out and explore, and definitely makes it a lot easier to go to sleep at night. As you can see, it's also another sunny weekend out here on the Washington coast, which doesn't happen too often in the fall, and it really is beautiful. Anyways, I need to get to work finishing up that description and getting that video out, and I'm sure I have comments that I haven't responded to yet because I just have been busy exploring and not responding to any comments on YouTube. Well, I'm going to head up to the top of that hill over there. It looks like there's a lighthouse up there, and this is actually where the Lewis and Clark expedition ended, so that's kind of cool. Apparently, after they installed the jetties at the mouth of the Columbia River, it changed the shoreline dramatically. So a lot of this land that's right here, where I'm standing actually, this used to be in the water. And a lot of the deposits from the Columbia River ended up in this area. And over the years, the land area over here has grown. So that's kind of cool. If for some reason the lighthouse is closed because, it's the middle of winter, it should have a really good view of the Columbia River, maybe even the Columbia River Bar. I know the river bars seem to be a little bit ways out into the ocean, but I think you should be able to see it from this height. Well, I came back to the campsite to this loud racket. Let's see what's going on the beach. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but there's 3 people from the Coast Guard climbing up to the top of a cliff, and there's a flare going off. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but now they're hosting people off the side of the cliff. Oh, there he is. Well, I had planned on actually filming a couple of videos, but it's really loud over that campground. And actually that helicopter is in the area that I was planning on going hiking this afternoon. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. Today, I get this lovely walk on the beach, and it is really nice out here. I have to say too, it's kind of one of those things where I'm pretty sure that's a training exercise, but I don't know for sure. So hopefully everyone's all right back there. I suspect they probably are, and it's just training, but you never know. Well, I just had a shower. Seems like the Coast Guard went home for the day, so no more helicopters outside, but it's sunset. It's pretty much dark out now. So what I've decided to do is make some spreadsheets, start going through every iteration of what I can possibly do with my budget, and just see what I come up with. I've kind of done this before, but I have no internet right now, which in some ways is a good thing because I can't get distracted at all. There's nothing to distract me. So I'm just going through and figuring out exactly how I want to do things. Since truck driving school didn't pan out, I need to reevaluate that as well. And I don't know when I'm getting that check back. So it's just something that I need to think about. I'll do a video separately on this particular subject. But I actually really enjoyed not having internet for long periods of time for exactly this kind of reason. There's a lot of problems that you can actually just solve if you don't have much in the way of distractions. And I find the internet to be just really distracting. I actually prefer, in a lot of ways, to live without the internet most of the time. But that's not really the world we live in normally. I still have to actually interact with the world, unfortunately. But I'm actually really happy that I've been at these campsites. This has happened a couple of times now, where they just don't have internet where I'm camped. So I have an opportunity here to just kind of focus, look at bunch of numbers. It's just like solving a puzzle. It's kind of fun. I know it's kind of silly in a lot of ways for someone on YouTube who makes videos regularly to be somewhat anti-internet, but I am just somewhat. 50% of the time I think I would rather not have the internet around. The other 50%, it's pretty useful. Well, unfortunately, I think it's time to head back. I was hoping to make it to that lighthouse over there where the Coast Guard were yesterday, but I don't have time today. It's a long drive back, and I don't want to be stuck in rush hour for, 5 hours. So, unfortunately, I do have to get back up north, but I would love to come back here and spend more time and explore the rest of this park. Cape Disappointment has definitely not been a disappointment, and I will definitely come back here if I get the chance again.